Let me see. Now, 6 billion. So, 10% would be 600 million?
Yes.
And so half
300
of that,
million.
300 million hybrids walking around.
300 million abductees, because of every abductee, mainly, especially from the woman, many hybrids are produced. It's not just one abductee and one hybrid. From one abductee, many hybrids are produced. Seeds are taken from men, eggs from women. Women are impregnated, and in the first trimester, the fetus, very small, is removed. But this happens throughout their life. So many hybrids are produced. So if you say, let's say an average of 5 or 6 hybrids is produced per person, you're looking at 1.5 billion.
1 in 6 occupants of planet Earth are essentially spawn of fallen angels. Is that what you're saying, Ali?
Well, if we go through the math, that's what I'm saying. Yes. That seems to be where the math is taking us.
The odds are some of my colleagues here at News Talk 1010 CFRB are alien human hybrids.
No. You're assuming that all of these hybrids have been released into the population. We don't know what the purpose is, at what frequency they're being released. Perhaps a great number is kept for the war that you're mentioning.
Okay. Where are they being kept then?
Okay, there is obviously ships that house them. There's lots of research that talks about underground bases in deep in the earth.
Area 51,
for instance. I had a UFO sighting myself, and the one that I saw very clearly went into the ground rather than then flying away. It happened in Iran, in the desert, on the road to Isfahan, and it was very interesting. And then, of course, you have other planets in the solar system with moons that can hide things. There's lots of places to keep them. It's like it's kind of like the Nazis. Suddenly it looked like the gates of hell opened up and this ready-made army came out. Hello. And so where are they being kept, and for when are they going to be completely released? I don't know. To answer your question.
All right. No, I think you've answered it quite well. Let's grab another call here and say hello to Claire. Welcome to News Talk 1010 CFRB, Claire.
I really like your guest.
Thank you.
He really is right on, and the numbers are not too far-fetched. I'm going to tell you why. In the early days, when you read the biblical history, when the Israelites were told to destroy certain areas, where all the people were destroyed, both man, woman, and child, nothing was to be left alive. Usually in those areas were giants. And the giants were produced from crossbreeding of
They were the
angels with
Nephilim.
men.
Yes, the Nephilim, Claire.
It's very interesting what you're saying, and also because in the last days they're going to have such an army coming out of almost nowhere. It really fits. It really fits.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll give you a break and leave you guys alone. You had a guest on a couple weeks ago, or probably last week, and I mentioned something about the Bible, and he went berserk, but I have news for him. He better start reading the Bible, because if you claim to be a knowledgeable person in some of these things, and you don't hook up with biblical prophecy, you really are incomplete. Because even those who don't believe the Bible still check with it to see what is going on there. All right?
All right, Claire, thank you for that. Good call.
Richard, can I read the book of Revelation here concerning our what we're talking about?
Sure, absolutely.
In the book of Revelation, in the 12th chapter of it, starting in the 7th verse, it says, "And there was war in heaven," and you really can read that as outer space as well. The Greek would allow that. "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him." So perhaps this mass arrival of fallen angels starting in the late 40s is the fulfillment of this casting out to the earth, that they have been pushed out, and that here they're cornered, and this is the last phase of the battle, and this is now the theater where it's being fought at, Earth, and eventually Jerusalem, and eventually Megiddo, as you kind of zero in on the last battle.
Ali Siadatan is the writer-director of UFOs, Angels and Gods. Ali, are there any public screenings scheduled in these environs for if folks want to check it out?
We don't have any public screenings right now scheduled, but people can go to the website thinkagainproductions.com, and I would be glad to send them a copy. And if they want to support our work, that would be wonderful. And it's an interesting documentary, not because I made it, but because the research was fascinating for me to do. And I think that other people would find it just as fascinating. And I understand you might be working on a sequel? Yes. The sequel we're working on is called The Mark of the Beast, and it is about the RFID technology and what is happening in our culture with it. The hospitals in the U.S. are asking to have stockpiles of it. They think, thing. It's being marketed on a mass level right now, and it's interesting that alien abduction victims also come with these implants inside them. And there's a company called Alien Technologies Corporations that is the largest manufacturer of these chips in the world, and the company that puts them inside humans is called VeriChip. And what's interesting about VeriChip is that the largest provider of funds to VeriChip is IBM. And what's interesting about IBM is that they made the debut in the world stage first by making the world's first automated census machine for the American government, and that itself is interesting, and because there's laws in the Bible against taking a census of the population. And then the next thing they did was they automated for the Nazi Party the bureaucracy of, and all the number that the Holocaust survivors have on their arms is actually the IBM number that they had. Yeah, that's been well documented in a book. The gentleman I once booked for a show, his name escapes me, but he was in fact the son of Holocaust survivors. Yeah. So, well, Ali, it all sounds like the makings of another radio program. And we're looking for support. If someone would like to support our work, don't hesitate to contact me by email. And that email is info@thinkagainproductions.com. All right, listen, I want to get to one more quick call before we let you go. Absolutely. Here. I'm running a little late, but let's grab Lynn in Bolton and welcome her to News Talk 1010 CFRB. Good morning, Lynn.
Hi, gentlemen. I just wanted to very quickly ask you, I'm a nurse, and at our new hospital, which is about to open, we have to use our thumbprint to open the med cart. And I have worries about that. As a Christian, I'm worried that they now will have my thumbprint. But I'll have to use it. Is that something I should be worried about as far as the mark of the beast and identification and all of that? They got all kinds of information on us. The biometrics is unavoidable. These are stepping stones. No, I think that you have to worry about it the day when they say you've got to put this chip in your arm if you want to have your job here. Okay. Until then, you can go. At that point, you have to draw the Christian card out and say, this is against my faith. I'm sorry. Yeah. But until then, I think, but there's all kinds of alternative health that you can look into that's really growing fast in Ontario. Yes. That's true. All right, Lynn. Thank you for the call. Just a postscript, Ali. They are experimenting. I believe I read down in Florida where you can actually check out your groceries and pay for them with your thumbprint. That certainly lines up nicely with that little verse in Revelations, doesn't it? Oh yeah, very nicely. They're desensitizing. They're just putting it inside everything. So by time whatever threat is marketed to us to say, the answer to this threat is this thing inside you. It's the final security measure. It's complete surveillance. It's a perfect census. I think personally that when the Lord makes His appearance and the seed of the serpent rallies the world against